There's a specific kind of tired that sleep can't fix. You know the feeling. You wake up, you check your phone before you even sit up. You commute, you perform, you come home. You're exhausted, but somehow you can't rest because tomorrow it starts again. Most people call this life, but a small group of people, quietly, without announcing it to anyone, decided it didn't have to be. They didn't quit dramatically, they didn't post about it, they didn't write a manifesto. They just stopped, slowly, deliberately, like someone who finally figures out they've been holding their breath for years. And what's fascinating isn't that they left, it's why their brains were able to do something that most people's brains never let them do. Today, we're going inside the psychology of people who quietly escaped the rat race, and by the end of this, you'll understand something about yourself that you've probably felt, but never had the words for. Here's what the rat race actually does to a human brain. It doesn't break you all at once. That would be too obvious. Instead, it works slowly, like water carving stone, day by day, decision by decision, until one morning you look in the mirror and realize you can't remember the last time you did something just because you wanted to. The system is designed to feel normal. Everyone around you is doing it. Your parents did it, their parents did it. So the brain, which is wired to look for social proof, to follow the herd, registers it as, this must be right. Psychologists call this normative social influence. When everyone around you is running, your brain interprets stopping as dangerous. Not wrong, dangerous. And so you keep running, not because you love the race, but because stopping feels like falling. The 34-year-old analyst who makes good money, has the apartment, has the title, and feels nothing. The teacher who genuinely loved her work until the system turned it into paperwork. The entrepreneur who built the business everyone admired and woke up one day completely hollow inside. These aren't weak people. These aren't ungrateful people. These are people whose brains are finally sending a signal, this isn't working, and the world keeps telling them to ignore it. So, what's actually different about the people who escape? Here's where it gets genuinely fascinating. Your brain has two modes for making big life decisions. The first mode is automatic. It follows scripts, social scripts, family scripts, cultural scripts. Go to school, get the job, climb the ladder. This mode is fast, comfortable, and almost invisible. You don't feel like you're following a script. You just feel like you're just living. The second mode is slower, harder. It requires your brain to step back and ask a question most people find genuinely uncomfortable. Is this mine, or did I just inherit it? People who quietly escape the rat race aren't smarter, they're not braver. What makes them different is that something, a moment, a loss, a period of silence, forced their brain out of automatic mode. Psychologists call this an identity disruption event. It's the moment the script stops making sense. A burnout, a death in the family, a promotion that felt completely empty. Something that cracks the autopilot open wide enough for a different question to get in. And here's the part that nobody talks about. The people who quietly escape, they almost never do it because they're chasing something glamorous. They do it because their nervous system, the ancient, honest part of them, finally stopped pretending it was okay. The brain, when it's finally allowed to rest, doesn't actually want more, it wants enough. Research in hedonic adaptation tells us that beyond a certain threshold, more money, more status, more achievement adds almost nothing to how a person actually feels day to day. The rat race sells you on the destination. Your brain already knows the destination doesn't exist. Now, and this is important, escaping the rat race doesn't mean disappearing from society. This is where the psychology gets nuanced, because there's a crucial difference between two things that look identical from the outside. Peace is when you leave the race because you've built something internal that doesn't need external validation anymore. You've done the hard work of figuring out what's actually yours, your values, your rhythm, your definition of enough. Hiding is when you leave the race because the race got too painful and solitude becomes a way to avoid, not heal. The anxiety is still there, the self-doubt is still there, you just removed the audience. The people who escape well, the ones who actually feel free, they do three things differently. The first thing, they redefine the metric. Most of us are measuring our lives with someone else's ruler. Salary, title, square footage, followers. The people who escape quietly swap the ruler for one they built themselves. Not because external things don't matter, but because they've decided which external things matter to them. This is called values clarification in psychology, and it's one of the most powerful acts of self-determination a human brain can perform. It's not passive, it's not lazy, it's actually harder than climbing the ladder, because the ladder tells you exactly where to go. Your own values don't come with directions. At work, this looks like declining the promotion that would have impressed everyone to protect the time that keeps you sane. At home, this looks like choosing a smaller life on purpose, not because you failed, but because you measured it differently. The second thing, they tolerate the discomfort of being misunderstood. This one is underrated. When you stop running, people notice and people ask questions. Why did you leave? Aren't you worried? Don't you miss the ambition? The psychological term is differentiation, the ability to stay grounded in your own sense of self when the people around you are pulling in a different direction. It sounds simple. It is not simple, because the brain is social. Disapproval feels like danger. Being misunderstood feels like loss. The people who escape quietly learn to feel that discomfort and keep moving anyway. In relationships, this looks like having honest conversations about what you actually want, even when it confuses people who love you. In your career, this looks like making a decision that makes no sense on a resume, and being okay with that. The third thing, they move toward, not just away. This is the one that separates peace from hiding. Running away from something, from stress, from people, from pressure, is reactive. The brain is still organized around the thing you're fleeing. You're defined by what you're escaping. Running toward something, toward stillness, toward creative work, toward presence, toward a life that fits the shape of who you actually are. Psychologically, this is the difference between avoidance and approach motivation. And the research is clear. People who move toward something report significantly higher well-being than people who simply move away. Here's what I want you to take from this. The people who quietly escape the rat race are not running from life. They're running toward a version of it that their nervous system can actually sustain. They're not enlightened, they're not special. They made one decision, maybe slowly, maybe painfully, to take the automatic scripts their brain had been following and hold it up to the light and ask, is this actually mine? That question is available to you right now. Not to blow up your life, not to move to a cabin and delete your email, but to get honest, maybe for the first time, about which parts of the race you chose and which parts chose you. The rat race isn't a place, it's a mindset. And mindsets, unlike systems, can be changed from the inside.